And this is Reverend Peter Kumar, your host for Next Step. And I praise God that we are able to connect through Next Step. I get a lot of calls, people comment, and there are people who say, no, we are just making the whole thing as a script because it's really blessing us. In fact, it's my desire to do it like a course, like a mentoring course. And at the moment, we are talking about God in your workplace. God in your workplace. The Spirit of God laid this in my heart to encourage you, to encourage people like you who have jobs. Maybe you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for promotions and it is not happening. Maybe many people in your office, maybe many people in your workplace, they hate you for no rhyme or reason and they put you down. Maybe you don't have a voice. Maybe you just work so hard, but there's no appreciation. There is no reward. And you ask all these questions. So what am I doing here? How long am I supposed to be in this position? So what next? How do I go to my next position, the next level, a promotion? And these are questions which can quickly discourage you, which can make you feel as if you don't have great value and nobody's going to promote you. So in Next Step, we are trying to deal with how to prepare ourselves, how to make God walk with us into our workplace, and how you and God, me and God, can really serve together in our workplace, and how is it going to change our lives, how is it going to affect our lives. And every week we upload this on YouTube, but it's my desire to make this a course. I want to be available for people who have jobs, people who are entrepreneurs. I want to be available as a mentor, to take them into scriptures, to take them into understanding how God would work with men and women of God in their workplace, while everybody is watching. Their colleagues will be watching, their bosses will be watching, their family is watching. But how God would choose to work with certain people, how God would make a shift in their workplace, how God would make people promote them. See, Pharaoh promoted Joseph. The king promoted Mordecai and Esther. See, we need to understand this. In this episode, I'm going to draw you again to the life of a man called Joseph and what happens in the workplace. The man is in the prison because there's a false charge made about his character in his workplace. We read that in the book of Genesis, chapter 39, beginning from verse 17 onwards. His boss's wife, she brings charges against him about his conduct, about his character, about his behavior. In fact, she has a proof in her hands and nobody could argue with her. She's the boss's wife. The man ends up in the prison. But then in the prison, God is with him and God works around him. God is with him and God works around him. Genesis chapter 39, verse 19 and 20. But now, he comes out of the prison because the king wants to meet him. The CEO wants to meet him. The king of the whole nation. We begin to read that in Genesis chapter 41, verse 12 to 14. There is a testimony. Somebody gives a good report about this man and they say, wow, this man should be part of what you do. This man should be part of your dream. O king, this man should be part of your dream. Did you hear what I said? They are telling the king, they are recommending to the king, if this man is going to be part of your dream, then whatever you dreamt will be fulfilled. Whatever you dreamt will be fulfilled. And this man can take you into the place of fulfillment. The place of fulfillment. So the king hears the good report, the referral about Joseph, and the king calls him up. And in verse 15, Genesis 41 verse 15, the king says, I have this dream. I have this dream. Can you interpret this dream in your own way? And can you take me to the place where this dream can be fulfilled? I have a dream. I don't know where I position myself, whether I'm closer to the fulfillment or not, whether I'm going to move to my destiny or not. The man, he's the boss, he's the CEO, he's the king, and he has a dream. And he's looking for somebody who can take him into the fulfillment of his dream. He has so many people who could work at his beck and command. He has so many people who have work, wage, promotions, elevation, positions, titles. But he's not talking about that. He's not talking about that. He says, in my workplace, I pay a lot of people. I have many companies, many offices, many positions, many titles, many salary patterns, bonuses, whatever it is. But I'm not looking for that. But in my workplace, I'm still looking for somebody who will know my dreams, who will know my dreams, who will work with me in my dreams. He will work with me in my dreams, and he will take me into the place where my dreams are being fulfilled. This is happening in the workplace. This is happening in the workplace. My brother, my sister, what was the dream about? The dream was about a huge abundance. The dream was about a huge abundance. And then the dream was about how the abundance can be lost. A huge abundance and how the abundance can be lost. The man is a dreamer, but he doesn't know how to put his dream in the right perspective. He doesn't know how to put his dream in the right perspective. He could not set goals through his dreams. He could not make a mandate. He could not make an action plan. He could not set up milestones because he didn't know. He didn't know how to make his dream work. In next step, your dream should work. You should ask God to give you revelation, understanding, to make your dream work, to make your dream work. Otherwise you will be dreaming and dreaming and dreaming, and there will not be any blessing in your life. The king is looking at Joseph and says, why don't you become part of my workplace? This is going to be your workplace. He promotes him. He makes him an in charge. He gives his signet ring to Joseph and says, please, I'm giving you all these things to make my dream work, to make my dream work, to make my dream work. How does Joseph do it? How does Joseph begin? How does he do it? 3 keys. The first key, he says, I need to ask God. I need to ask God. See, the king has a dream, but Joseph says, come on, tell me your dream. He doesn't say that. Let me ask God. Let me ask God. Because God will show me how to break your dream into perspectives, into purposes, into a direction, into milestones, action plans. Whatever is the process, let me ask my God. Let me ask my God. The second thing Joseph says, we need to prepare ourselves. We need to prepare ourselves. He tells the king, oh, we need people, king. We need people. Because this dream, it entails all these things. So we need a person. We need offices. We need banks. We need storehouses. We need people who will do this, do that. And he writes the job descriptions and he defines the whole thing. He sets up a huge task force. He says, king, your dream needs a task force. Your dream needs a task force. Your dream needs a task force. I will go to God. I will create a task force. And finally, he works with the king. He works with the authority of the king. He takes the whole wealth of the nation. He takes the whole grain of the nation. Genesis chapter 41, verse 49. And then he stores it up so that the nation will not be affected by the crisis. There was a huge famine which followed. a huge famine. The man saw prosperity and adversity. Today many people see only prosperity, so they are not ready for an adversity. So when an adversity visits them, they lose all the prosperity. Let me repeat. There are people who prepare only for prosperity. They do not prepare for adversity. So when an adversity visits them, they lose all the prosperity. Joseph says, the prosperity has to be extended. The overflow should produce more overflows. The overflow should produce more overflows. And he comes up with a strategy to provide in a season of adversity. And he makes everything grow in a season of adversity. The book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 23. He says, we need to produce a harvest in the season of adversity. My brother, my sister, God in your workplace. God in your workplace. How will God work with you? God will work with you to help you to fulfill the dreams of people sitting in high places. They are looking for people like you. They are looking for people like you. They have great dreams, but they are looking for a person. They are looking for a person. They are not looking for an employee. They are not looking for an employment. They are not looking for a scheme. They are not looking for a wage. They are not looking for a bonus. They are not looking for a wage pattern. They are looking for a person. They are still looking for a person who can make the dream come true. Who can make the dream come true. Can you become that person? Can I become that person? That is your next step. That is your next step. Joseph said, I need to go to God. My God will teach me. He will train me. And then I need to develop a task force. It was not there before, but he creates something so big, so awesome. And he collects. He doesn't want to lose the blessings. He doesn't want to lose any blessings. He stores the blessings and he makes them multiply. He makes them multiply. My brother, my sister, your next step is to help people fulfill their dreams. That is your next step. So connect with us. Continue to follow us till we meet. This is Peter Kumar.